Hey koalas, it's Julie and Oreo again with another story for you this week. This week we're talking about God's miracles in people's life, and today we're going to read about David and Goliath. And this is another story out of the Bible that you might know, but we thought it would be fun to read. It's one of our favorites. So it starts out that David was a simple shepherd boy who lived with his family and his sheep. A wise old man called Samuel came to David's house with a message from God, and he told David one day he would be king. So David probably thought that was pretty funny. David was keeping shepherd out in the field, and this guy came and said, "You're going to be a king someday." King Saul was feeling sad, and he knew David was a good harp player, so he sent for him to cheer him up. So not only was David a shepherd, but he also played a harp, and his music felt really good and helped King Saul feel better. When David went home again, he found his brothers had joined King Saul's army and went to fight in the war. So David had a lot of older brothers. He was the youngest brother. David went to visit his brothers in the battlefield. And when he arrived, David saw Goliath, an enemy soldier and a giant of a man, step forward. So you'll notice that David is just this little boy, and this big old giant of a man, listen to what he says. "Anyone who dares to fight me and win will win the whole war, cried Goliath. King Saul's soldiers were afraid to fight the giant Goliath. David knew that God would help him, so he stepped forward. Remember, he's just a young boy that's doing this. And David put a stone in his sling. You know, slings work. You pull them back and they go whoosh. And he fired it. Goliath was hit in the head and fell down dead. Everyone cheered for David. He defeated the giant. Isn't that pretty cool? A little boy defeats a giant. And you know how he did that? Because God helped him. Hearing that David had won the war, King Saul invited David to live with him at the palace. In time, Samuel's words came true, and David became a good and wise king himself. The end. So there's another miraculous story about how God created and performed a miracle with a young boy against a giant. So any of you young guys out there, don't think God won't help you with miracles in your life. He loves you. And so do we. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.